Good morning. Here's the SBitX version 2. I've got a keyboard hooked up to it, running it off a 12-volt power supply, or 13.6, whatever. I have a network connector, but you can run Wi-Fi, and this is the antenna going to a delta loop, basically about 200 feet of wire kind of stuck in the trees. I have it hooked up to an external monitor right here, and then of course this is the unit itself. I also have a mouse hooked up because it's convenient for when you're running it in the ham shack. So anyway, this is what it basically looks. Of course, your background picture can be changed to anything you wish. It's just a standard Linux system. So I'll just go down and I'll move my mouse over to the left, and you'll see it appears down here. And so we'll start off with the SBitX. Start it up, execute it. Wait for a few seconds. You can see it's bringing up FLDigi. And when I'm running the external monitor, I close that, basically. Now here's what's popped up is the browser, which you can browse anywhere on your network just by entering your password, which default is 123. And you'll see that there's the radio itself. And that's the last activity because it's on FT8. And some of the controls, upper left hand corner here, you can choose your bands, kind of self-explanatory. You can choose your modes. This case is FT8, but I'll change it over to digital, but you can change it to whatever mode you wish. Let me just close this. And you can change the frequency by grabbing the mouse or touching it and spinning it, because it is all touch control. I have the volume control down here now, but and you can see the various signals that are coming in on FT8 mode. Now I usually use the FT8 mode with secondary software. So basically, this is handy if you have this in the shack and then you have a laptop or something upstairs. You can just connect, just like I did, by using that URL. But anyway, for the moment, I'll just close that. I could put it in the background, but you can see all the different contacts here. I'll close it in the background. And so I'll bring up the, again, there are lots of programs available, lots of ham programs. If you go to ham radio, you can see all the different digital modes and that sort of stuff. I normally use FT8. Now if I go here and then I use WJSTX, I'll just double click it. Takes a little while, of course, to come up. But see the hourglass, so I will eventually appear here. And since I have a secondary monitor, again, I'll move my mouse over here, and the mouse will appear up here, up in this area. And let's see, what else is there? Now I'm looking for some signals here. Why not? I see around 14.074. It's green, which means that it's communicating to the SBitX. I have lost sound here. The normal trick is when you bring up the extra digital modes, you normally have to close the FLDigi program that comes up as default. So I'll close it, and it may or may not come up until I have to reset it. But that happens because it's taking over the audio. So sometimes I find that's the case. Okay, so I'll just go up here again, and I will close it. I'll wait a few seconds. I'll go back down below here, down here now, and I'll try it again. Now sometimes I can just start up again, it'll be okay, and other times you actually have to start from the beginning. So see what happens here. But that's the thing. It's just that one program, FLDigi, when it comes up, it's also using the digital modes and that sort of stuff. And if you don't, then what happens is usually you lose your, not always, but you sometimes lose your audio and that sort of stuff. So let's have a look, see if it's come up. Yep, I can see it's coming up now. So if you look at the very top here, you see the signals now are coming down. Well, a minute ago they weren't, so it'll take a few seconds here before anything starts to decode. That's on 14074. It's green. It's linked to the SBITX. There she comes. So these are calls just heard. These are color coded. Of course, the different things you want to do. If I haven't worked a particular continent, I'll code it to a different color. But you don't have to use external program. You can use the built-in one. I just find it more limiting than the graphic interface here. And this has many features, of course. You can, I'm running the WSJTX 2.3, but it's the modified version, and it's referred to as WSJTZ. So if you want that one, and I find the Z is identical as far as inside, but the GUI aspect allows many features. You have auto, so if I hit that, it will start automatically doing CQs. It'll respond back and forth. So has pounce if you're looking for a spot, a call. You would type that in. As soon as it sees that call, it would basically go after it. So these are extra features. See it coding very, very well. And so now what I usually also bring up, another program called Grid Tracker. That's down here. So if I look here and go Grid Tracker, same thing, you can execute it. So without having the external terminal or monitor, you can't use these programs because they won't fit into the screen. So by having the external monitor, there's nothing you have to do really. It's just you plug an external cable in to the connector, and then I'm waiting for Grid Tracker to come up. And Grid Tracker is a GUI interface that takes all the information that the decoding program does, which is the WSJT program, and it will put it to a much nicer interface, again with a graphical interface of the map and everything else. So you can see it coming up there now, and it has come up. And I can resize this, of course, whatever I need to make it full screen. I'll just get right to the end here. There. Just going to shrink that a little bit. I'll make this a little bit bigger. And you can see all kinds of interfaces. This is the map here right now. Let me turn things on here. You can see all the statistics. And basically, I click the statistics up here, and whatever's being seen here, it's actually being used in here for its own interface. And if you may not have noticed, the interface down here is now changed. So all those calls and everything else that you see, that's Portugal, the flag, the European, how strong the signal is, how far it is away, do they do EQSL, all kinds of things. It's identical really to what this is, but the presentation is far superior here. And that is just one of many screens that this thing will give you. And of course, if I happen to really want to go and look at that, as a full picture, you'll see, and these are all the different stations right now that are using Grid Tracker. And the yellow ones are ones that have been, had some connections within the last 10 hours. And then you see these little yellow lines here. These are live communications. And so you can do things like, well, if I was working all states, I could just click on this, and that's all countries. And anything that isn't yellow is what you'd be using. So if I go here, go to worked all states, there. Just an example, that's all states. And so on this band, I've worked all the states here. And I can blow it up to any size I want. You can drag, just like you do any other thing, whatever. So this is really, and you get weather, but it really takes that information that the main program is doing, the WSJT, and putting it to a much nicer interface. And there's all kinds of things you can do here. Of course, it logs and decodes and all that. You can actually hide it completely on the thing, so you get nothing but the map. And now you can see, I'm looking over in Europe. These are active contents. You can see like a little ant trail. If I was to transmit, it actually would be a green trail. It could be any color, but I chose green. So just a sec here. I'll go back to the small size, and then you'll see the basically the program. You can move these around, and again, if I move my mouse and go to the left here a little bit, you'll see it appears down here. And if I wanted to call that station, really, it would be just as easy as double clicking. That would turn red, and the transmitter would take over and do its recording. Let me see here. I'm just looking to see what I have on. I run it only about 2 or 3 watts is what I use, and I feed it to a solid state amplifier. And so that means that this unit is always running very, very cool. And I've ran it for days and you know, many hours of digital, and it's never glitched. But say if I was looking for the United States, that's VOTA, of course. There's Europe, fairly weak right now in Hungary, but let's just give her a shot. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's turned red here, you can see. Now it's transmitting. And up in here, a call book has come up. If that was anybody in the United States, for example, that would give everything, your address, your any information that's available from the you know, QRZ database, basically. But on the main screen here, it's trying to contact them, and it hasn't received an answer yet. Because if I do, I'll see a line come across here. I'm going to shrink this just a little bit and bring it across. See, there's my transmission. You see it like a little ant trail going over to Hungary. And if he does hear me, then it'll present a similar trail, but the trail will be going from his place to mine. So it's very easy to pick things out. And eventually you'll see if it does make a connection, the log will come up and you can log in and all that. So it doesn't look like he's hearing me very well. I see no response, but I think I'm just going to terminate it now, and just put that back to where is it? I'll just halt it. There we go. And that's it. That will terminate the area. But anyway, that's how it basically runs here. Echo, turn the lamp on. Yeah, I've got these on a timer and they shut off. Anyway, so there you get the basic idea. This is much friendlier to use, and again, you can see all the data up here. These represent your transmitter and your receiver frequencies, and you can see what the activities are, how far they are away from you, any contacts you have, and it has voice. I don't have it turned on right now, but basically when a certain call comes up, and that sort of thing. So you notice now up here, see there's that many more communications. So 20 meters right now is getting a little more active, and so we're going overseas there quite a bit. So you got some people talking to, he's transmitting now, and these guys are getting transmissions from that part of the world, which is basically the same thing in here. It's just, it really makes it easier to pick out that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's the basic idea. I'm putting up this SBX for sale, and I'm going to put this on the website or on YouTube just so people have a look at it. I've had no problems with it. You know, it's worked exactly, and I've added some extra software into it. It's just I happen to have an SDR radio in the back here, and I also have a Flex radio here, 1500. So they kind of do all the same sort of thing as this, except as you know, as this is one complete package. The computer, the Pi is in there. In this case, it's a Pi 4, but with 4 gig of memory, a little more than what the basic is, and that makes a difference on, especially running your digital modes. It gives a little bit more memory, so it's a little faster in that. So there you have it. I'll be putting it up for sale, likely in the next week or so, just only because it's been sitting here basically, and I'm not using it the way I thought it would, because my other ones work just as well. So 7 3s from VE1 Bravo Whiskey Victor.